Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Monday, June 28th market update. On the economic front, personal income was a little less than expected. It was up 0.4%. Estimate was for it to be up 0.5%. Consumer spending was in line, up 0.2%. On deck for tomorrow, the monthly S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index and the monthly Consumer Confidence Number. The dollar was up. Gold, silver, copper, and oil were down. Light sweet crude futures were down 61 cents to settle at $78.25 a barrel. Taking a look at the dollar via the UUP, the ETF. Didn't mean, we're just right here, kind of sideways here. We haven't been moving a whole lot here in the last few sessions, nor has the market really. West Texas Intermediate Crude. Point and figure chart, we still have this problem of, up here on 80, so we're right here around 78. Still on a buy signal, not really any change there. Over to the Dow. Dow closed down 5 points to 10,138. S&P closed down 2 points to 1,074. NASDAQ closed down 3 points to 2220, and the Russell closed down 3 points to 641. The Dow held up the best, down 0.05%. The Russell was the weakest, down 0.55%. Of course, we coming up to this holiday, the 4th of July, so volume across the indices were about 40% below average. Pretty horrible volume. I mean, we've been hanging around about 10 to 20% below average anyway, so that's kind of the way it's been so far as we've gotten to more of the summertime. So the Dow, I mean, we just had this doji do nothing. We're just not, didn't really do much of anything today. It's sideways. MACD still pointing down. Over here to the SPX, we're still watching that little bit longer term possible of the, the head and shoulders up here. And we, like I said, didn't really go anywhere. Looking at the 60-minute chart on the S&P, we do have, we got this little triangle thing kind of working here. This is on the 60-minute chart of the S&P that we've been working on now for, I don't know, since the June 24th. So, get out of there. No, we're still, we're kind of right there at it still. We could go either direction. The market's been kind of weak. I thought they'd prop the market up a little better than they have going into the end of the quarter here for the last couple of days, but not really so much. So it's still not any other than kind of weak. Still in this channel down. Of course, that's on the 6-month chart. This is the Russell 60-minute chart. Longer term, again, down in here. We broke out of the channel here, but couldn't hold it. Came right back down in it. So, the MACD's okay, kind of going sideways, but it's, a lot higher here than it was down in here. So, which it is higher. So, I don't know. Still not real sure what's going to happen. Just to wait and see here. Kind of how it plays out, and probably the economic data that's coming out is going to, be the main factor. GLD. Act like it was going to break out higher today. It's a huge bull trap, and it just, the MACD's kind of crappy. It's just kind of going sideways. It's been going sideways on gold now since, I don't know, May 20th or so. So, I don't know, gold could probably use a break. So it wasn't too impressive. Silver up against some resistance there that it's been up near before, up, on this longer term triangle. Copper, it broke out here Friday, and it's still holding. And, just this neutral candle, this doji candle just sitting there. FXE pulled back today, and, it was down almost 1%, but still, we're still kind of just not a lot going on here, just kind of sideways action. Over to the, whoops, what the heck was that? To the McClellan oscillator on the NYSE. -4, still neutral, not overbought, oversold, nothing. We're just kind of sitting here in the middle of kind of how the market is, kind of just wishy-washy, boring sideways. Over to the sectors. Four of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today. Utility index had the largest percent gain, up 0.69%. The gold index was the weakest, which is the miners, down 1.26%. So since the utilities were pretty good today, I thought we'd start off here with some chart watch on a couple of utilities. They seem to be getting a bid here of late, with some volume coming in. So this Hawaiian Electric HE, you might want to keep it on your list here. Buy it here would be best, and then there's a lot of these failures on these breakouts like they were today is pretty typical. Another one to watch, ENOC. It broke out here with tons of volume and above these prior closes, so it really should hold here around this 31.50 or so. So this should actually be a good breakout for ENOC. So there was not volume on the selling today. It's still holding up above there. Of course, you do got some resistance up here, right, just on the top of these little candles. But I don't know. That should be a pretty important support area for it. Might be worth watching. AEP, as long as it holds that uptrend line. Another utility, and this is utility as well. NVE, longer term triangle, kind of working out here again. You could use the low here of 1184. The trend line is your kind of stop. You might give it 5 or 10 cents. SLW, another one that broke out, another trap today, and then they started flying like early this morning, and that started selling. So see how the silver wheaton, how that goes here in the next couple of days. EGO did the same thing. ABX did the same thing. Again, I'd already showed you the GLD chart. CRUS, the playoff Apple, breaking out of its little flag today, its bull flag, so it's looking pretty good. OVTI, another play, it's looking pretty good. I know Kramer talked about it last week and started flying. Apple's still holding up pretty well. SanDisk, playoff Apple, as long as it holds that trend line, looks fine. Pot broke down today, but I would caution, and it did it with volume, breaking down here. It was bouncing around, then it had this breakdown. We'll call it 92.50 or so, but it's bounced every time it's touched this downtrend line. So be careful around here about 80. I don't know. Let's call it 88 or so. It's probably going to bounce, but you can short it probably down to that point. Another strong stock is this, and we've watched this one before, this Next Stage Medical. Tons of volume, keeps breaking higher, still looks good. Fleur, some of these from the watch list still look good over the weekend. This one, go back to it, and you might want to look at some of those. That looks good. CBI still holding in there, looks fine. PPO going a little higher, probably would have had a huge breakout if the market would have let it today. Apache's breaking down there on its uptrend line. Not with a lot of volume though, but that gas stock struggled today. AZO, AutoZone looking really good. Nice tight consolidation, so you need to wait for it to break out higher over the highs. Cooper Companies should have really strong support here at 41. So pretty low risk play here. Let's look at it 1 year, go out further. Yeah, should be a nice, maybe worth a try. Little nibble. It's kind of a boring market to do much of anything really. I don't trust it. Enzyme Pharmaceuticals, another one that's at this 1150 is a pretty important breakout for it. So might want to watch that little pharmaceutical stock. And then Illumina, nice tight consolidation after again, this is a longer term breakout for Illumina, and it really should hold around this, we'll call it 43.50 area as support for a little longer term. It's been consolidating around here, so it looks pretty good. And Lifetime Brands, another this tight consolidation, broke out, and now it's another tight consolidation, so watch for the next move higher. And LoopNet breaking out today with volume, so you might want to watch this little one. And again, you might want to check out the watch list from the weekend, because there's a lot of stuff on there that could still play out, and a lot of stuff that didn't really move anywhere. It's just still where it was from the watch list. So alrighty, over to the current market signals. There's no change here. We're gonna have to sell more than we are now. Then we're gonna have to go lower to go on back on sell signals. But this type of market, we can bounce back and forth between buys and sells. But we've been here for a while, so that's no change there. And let's look at the Dow. see how much. Yeah, see, so we're right here. We ran right into this trend line resistance on the down. That was the end of it. So we have to go clear down here and print 97.50 to go on to a sell signal on the Dow. We need to take out this prior uh, column of O's, and of course we've had support here too. It's down to this 9,800 level, so we'll watch that as we get down there. All right, that is it for today. Be careful. Trade small. Don't trade at all. Whatever you want to do. Probably boring all week. We'll see. All right, thanks.